but the big trick here is we are going to do a Destiny reading first of all for this campaign. Hello Arkham Horror fans, this is your Game of the Day. Remember that you can get in on the fun by heading over to surveymonkey.com, filling out the 3 quick questions, and letting me know which investigators and scenarios you would like to see me play here on the channel, and I will do my very best to bring you those games. If you like this sort of content, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out the channel a great deal. Before we get started, I'd like to thank the patrons of this channel for their tremendous support. The Arkham Horror LCG community is amazing, and these people have gone above and beyond to bring you content like these playthroughs. If you'd like to support the channel's goals and see your name on this list, head over to patreon.com, sign up for a tier of your choice, and claim your rewards. That would be awesome. Without further ado, let's play our Game of the Day. On today's Game of the Day, we have a solo Carolyn Fern deck submitted by patron of the channel, Mitchell Kopich. There is a bit of a story behind this one. Mitchell had built this deck, Who's Foolish Now, for the League of Extraordinary Investigators, which was tackling the Dream side of the Dream Eaters campaign. The deck had done very well in testing, and Mitchell had high hopes for it. Unfortunately, the deck did not perform particularly well in the League, but Mitchell felt that it deserved better. And so he asked me if I would be willing to play it here on the channel, and I am more than happy to comply. Now, I don't have a lot of experience playing Carolyn Fern solo. I have played her a couple of times on the channel, and I have also played her two-handed through a couple of scenarios. So this shall be interesting indeed. The deck is based around Carolyn's signature cards from her novella, Foolishness, her cat ally, and To Fight the Black Wind. The deck is based around the Hawkeye folding camera and Foolishness to boost Carolyn's willpower and intellect as high as possible. We have Hallowed Mirror in order to help us heal some horror, which of course is Carolyn's trick. We've got Guard Dog, Enchanted Blade in there to help us deal with enemies. We have Arcane Research in there, which is to help us upgrade to Deny Existence 5 at some point. We've got Ethereal Form to help us manage enemies, to help give Carolyn a little bit of evasion. Logical Reasoning, of course, helps us heal horror. Mind Over Matter, another enemy management card. Scene of the Crime to help us get clues. Shortcut, an always amazing Seeker card to help us move around the board. Spectral Razor can help us kill some enemies, and Working a Hunch grabs us some clues. Fairly lean skill package, Daring, Fearless, and Take the Initiative. Now, Who's Foolish Now is up on Arkham DB, and Mitchell wrote a very detailed guide on how to play and upgrade the deck. Now, typically I don't talk about upgrades this early, but this one really caught my eye. Mitchell suggests 2 upgrade paths, one being the sort of traditional charisma upgrading to Peter Sylvester, but the second path is upgrading into Anna Kaslow and the tarot cards. And so I thought, why not lean into that hard? And what we are going to do is upgrade this with the tarot cards, but we are also going to play with the tarot card deck that was released in Return to the Circle Undone. We're going to do a Destiny campaign. As you may know, Destiny is when you reveal 8 tarot cards at the beginning of the campaign. 1 for each scenario, and then you reverse 4 of them, and those will be the bane or boon that you will receive at the beginning of each scenario. So this should be very interesting indeed to see how Carolyn fares. I've been playing on hard recently, but we are going to play this one on standard. We are going to play the Path to Carcosa. It seems like that would be good for Carolyn. Mitchell had played it through, of course, the Dream Eaters campaign, and he felt that the poor Carolyn's 2 agility did her no favors in that particular campaign. So hopefully she will perform better in the Path to Carcosa. We are ready to go in Octagon, so let's switch over here. So before I get started, just a quick reminder, if there is a deck that you would like to see me play here on the channel, fill out the survey over at SurveyMonkey, and I will do my very best to bring you that game. If you prefer to listen to these games as a podcast, head over to my blog, The Whisper in Darkness at blogspot.com. You can download the audio versions of these games there. The games are also available on iTunes or Google Podcast. We have Carolyn Fern with Arcane Research, so we are starting the game with a mental trauma. I should remember that. We have the curtain call scenario set up. Carolyn, of course, at the theater. But the big trick here is we are going to do a Destiny reading, first of all, for this campaign. Fortunately, Octagon has implemented the tarot deck, so let us draw 8 cards from that deck and see what is in store for this campaign. So card number 1, we have the World, which is each time an investigator not defeated during this game may remove 1 trauma from his or her choice during this resolution, or each investigator defeated during this game suffers 1 trauma of their choice during this resolution. So we can either, what we have to do is draw 8 cards and then reverse 4 of them. So let's draw the other 7. We have Death 13, which means we either start the game with +1 health or -1 health. Number 3 is the Hermit. Increase each investigator's maximum hand size by 3 or decrease it by 3. We have Justice, which is cancel the doom that would be placed cancel the first doom that would be placed on the final agenda of the game, or the final agenda of the game enters play with 1 doom on it. We've got 4 to go. We get the Wheel of Fortune, which is once each act, when any investigator reveals a token or an auto-fail token, the investigator may cancel it and treat it as a 0 instead. Or once each agenda, the first time any investigator reveals an Elder Sign token, cancel it and treat it as an auto-fail token or as a -5 instead. We have... this is screwing up my screen here each time I pull one. We have the Moon. The first time each investigator deck would run out of cards, they may shuffle the bottom 10 cards of their discard pile back into their deck. How many is that? 4, 5, 6. So we've got 2 to go. We have, ooh, there's the Hanged Man. We don't want to reverse that one. During setup, each investigator may take up to 2 additional mulligans. Or we are prohibited from mulliganing. And the Devil will be the final card. Each investigator has 1 additional slot of the type chosen by that investigator when the game begins. Or we have to go through our deck, and we have 3 fewer slots, each of a different type as chosen by the investigator when the game begins. So we've drawn our 8 tarot cards. So we need to reverse 4 of them. So we're definitely not reversing the Hanged Man or the Devil, I think. I think we can reverse the World. Each investigator defeated during this game suffers 1 trauma of their choice during this resolution. So let's flip that one over. Whoop, that just puts the back on. So can we do this? No. All right, so we're going to reverse the World. So if we take a trauma this game, we're going to suffer 2 trauma. Hopefully that won't be the case, but we shall see. Death, we get +1 health or -1 health. So this would be for the Last King. I feel as though we can probably get away with reversing that one. Starting that game with -1 health is will be, I think, okay. What do we see here? Increase each maximum investigator's hand size by 3 or decrease each investigator's maximum hand size by 3. That would give us a hand size of 5 for Echoes of the Past. I think we'll reverse that one too. Just trying to keep the good ones for the final scenarios. And Justice, the final agenda of the game, enters play with 1 doom on it. That would be for the Unspeakable Oath. So I think, let's see, what else do we have here? Unspeakable Oath, and then the Wheel of Fortune would be for, what's that one? The one in Paris. So once each agenda, the first time any investigator reveals a... Yeah, let's take this one out of the game. So we have gone through, we have done our destiny reading. So what we are going to do, maybe we don't want to take this extra trauma. Let's see. This would be for the Catacombs game. When the game begins, each investigator discards the top 5 cards of their deck. Shuffle each discarded weakness into the owner's deck. That might not be too bad. Maybe we'll reverse that one instead of the world, because I'm not entirely certain that I'm going to do the... I'm thinking for this game, I may end up doing the suicide play and basically dying to Agenda 2 and just taking the trauma while trying to maximize the number of victory points I get, because I'm not too sure Carolyn has the capacity to kill the emissary multiple times. So that is where we are going to stand. So we're going to keep the world regular. We're going to reverse death. And the Hermit, we are going to keep Justice straight up, and we are going to reverse the Wheel of Fortune and the Moon, and we're going to keep the Hermit straight up because that would be terrible, as well as the Devil. So we'll have an additional slot. So we've done our reading. All right, so of course Carolyn starts here at the theater. Now, according to Mitchell's very detailed play guide, we're looking for the cards we're looking for at the beginning are Hawkeye, Folding Camera, and Foolishness, of course. We shall see. But first, of course, we need to draw our basic weakness. We haven't done that either. So we'll shuffle up the pot of basic weaknesses, and our basic weakness is going to be Kleptomania. Can't be that because that's multiplayer only. We have Chronophobia, which is, of course, at the end of our turn, we take 1 direct horror. If anybody is capable of dealing with that, Carolyn is the one. So we'll shuffle that into our deck, and we are ready to draw our opening hand. So let's see how we do. We'll draw many. Let's pick up 5 cards, and... So we have Mind Over Matter, Scene of the Crime, Ethereal Form, Spectral Razor, and Working a Hunch. So we didn't get any of the cards that Mitchell suggests. So let's get rid of this hand. And we're going to mulligan the whole thing, I think. Maybe we keep the Mind Over Matter or Spectral Razor. Spectral Razor kills an enemy. So maybe we keep that, and we'll draw 4 more. There's Chronophobia, so that will be gone. We get our, to fight the Black Wind, her signature weakness. We get Mind Over Matter, of course, because I mulliganed that. Guard Dog. There's the Hawkeye folding camera and a Take the Initiative. So we got one of the cards we're looking for. Hopefully we can find some more as we draw through our deck. All right, I think we're ready to go. We have the camera, a Guard Dog. Actually, Mitchell said the Guard Dog is a good opening play as well, so not too disappointed to see that either. So we let's advance to the investigation phase, get our 3 actions, and let's kick things off. So let's, first of all, we're going to pay 2 resources to get the Hawkeye folding camera. Now, let me just remind myself. So after one of your card heals horror from an investigator or ally asset, I get to gain a resource. And when I draw an Elder Sign, you may heal in horror from an investigator or ally at your location. And yeah, so that looks good. We will use our second action. I think we'll do that. We'll get the Guard Dog. Might as well get our ally out right away. So that is all 3 resources. And let's use our final action of the turn to move to backstage. So we will flip that over. 3 Shroud location, 1 clue. We have to go get ourselves a couple of locations, which I believe are down here in this deck. And we will grab the 3 backstage locations and pick 2 of those at random. Oh, we also have to... No, we have to deal with him later. It's actually been a while since I played Curtain Call. One of my favorite scenarios in the game. Can be very challenging. And I think we're done. So we are going to go to the first Mythos phase of the game here. But first, enemy phase, nothing happening. We draw a Daring. During the upkeep, we advance to the Mythos phase. Turn 2, 1 doom of 6. Our encounter card is going to be Spirit's Torment. After you leave attached location, we must either take a horror or lose an action. We can place a clue on it to discard Spirit's Torment. That's a pretty rough spot to have Spirit's Torment show up. Can be a very high traffic location, that backstage. If we do the Man in the Palette Mask route, hopefully he doesn't show up here backstage, because we'll probably have to go back there again. So do we take the horror or lose the action? We've got 9 horror, 9 sanity. We've got a lot we have a lot of sanity to spare, but I'm not too sure if I want to take that horror, just because we have there's like a 3 sanity, 3 horror threshold before the skulls get really bad. -3 if you have 3 horror on you. So, but I think what we want to do is grab this clue first off. So we will use the Hawkeye folding camera. If we can grab this clue, we get a +1 willpower. Our intellect is 4, so we're going 4v3. We could commit the Take the Initiative to this to boost it, but I think we'll just go 4v3 to kick things off here. I think the Chaos Bag is kind of in our favor right now. So 4v3, Chaos Bag gives us a 0, so we do grab this clue. And we do get a resource on the Hawkeye folding camera, so our willpower goes up by 1. So we have 4 willpower now and 4 intellect. Do we lose the action? Or do we take the horror? I think we're going to take the horror this time. So we will move up here to this backstage doorway. We will flip it over. It is a victory point location. That's good. After you succeed by 2 or more, while this is the rehearsal room, 1 shroud location with 1 clue. After you succeed by 2 or more while investigating the rehearsal room, take 1 horror. Boy, oh boy, we're going to have to do some healing here very quickly. But we have our intellect is only 4, so maybe if we fail this slightly, we can grab this clue and a victory point, which would be very nice. So I think we'll do that for our third action. Chaos Bag gives us an Elder Sign, so we can actually heal a horror. That's a +1, so we're going to succeed by 5. So we're going to take a horror and heal a horror. So we'll stay at 2 horror, but we also get a resource out of the deal. And of course we get this clue. So not a bad start if I do say so. We have a victory point already and 2 clues. And so do we think we can do this the old-fashioned way and defeat the emissary enough times to deal with the man in the pallid mask, or will we just go for the suicide squeeze and take the mental trauma but try to just grab all the VPs? That's the question. That is the question. We shall see. I guess we'll see how we do. If we get our enchanted blade, maybe we can kill the emissary once. But yeah, it's kind of difficult to... I find with this one, if you're going to go the pallid mask route, you really need to be able to kill the emissary several times in order to deal with him. That's going to do it for our turn. Nothing during the enemy phase. During upkeep, we draw our signature weakness, to fight the Black Wind. This is the first time I've ever had to deal with this, so let's read it. Carolyn Fern deck only replacement. Attach the Fight the Black Wind to the current agenda. Carolyn Fern takes 1 direct horror. So that is going to go up there. And we're going to take a direct horror. So we are at 3 horror already. That is not good. At the end of the round, if any amount of horror was assigned to an investigator this round and it was not healed, place 1 doom on the current agenda. Oh, so this is going to speed things up dramatically. And it's going to happen like right now. Attach Fight the Black Wind to the current agenda. I take a horror. And then at the end of the round, if any amount of horror was assigned to an investigator this round and it was not healed, well, we assigned ourselves a horror and we healed a horror. So I don't think this is going to trigger this turn. So we got lucky with that Elder Sign, and we're not going to have to worry about to fight the Black Wind this turn, but in future turns we are definitely going to need to deal with that. All right, we will go to the Mythos phase. Just going to mark this, mark the card here. Highlight it. What kind of highlight? Purple? Yeah, there we go. Or maybe red. Red for Doom. That would be, there we go. Okay. It is the Mythos phase. It is turn 3. We are going to draw an encounter card, which is the Swarm of Rats. All right. Well, we could simply move and the rats would attack us. We would assign the damage to the guard dog. The guard dog would kill the rats. That would be one way of dealing with it. So we'll gain our three actions. Let's go. We are in the investigation phase. I think we'll just use the guard dog to kill the rats. We did get that clue at the rehearsal room, so we had to add a trigger Hawkeye folding camera's response. So now we get +1 intellect. So we're up to 4 willpower and 5 intellect, and we can get +1 sanity once we clear one more location. So we're going to take an action to move back to the backstage. Now, does that trigger after you leave attached location? So that's fine. So the rats will make an attack of opportunity against us. We will deal 1 damage to the guard dog, and the guard dog will kill the rats for us, which works out nicely. Now we're going to have to either take a horror or lose an action here to Spirit's Torment. I think due to Fight the Black Wind, though, if we take any horror, we are going to have to place Doom, which we don't really want to do. So we will lose the action. We'll move Carolyn to this other backway door location. It is the rat room, 3 shroud location, 1 clue. We have to go get ourselves a swarm of rats, but it is worth it. So we did get both victory point locations. That's pretty good. Do we go hunting through the encounter deck for rats, or do we just take this one? I think we'll just take this rats. And again, I think the rats are just going to attack us, and the dog is going to defend us. We go to the enemy phase. The rats attack, and the dog defends or takes the damage, and the rats die. So the dog has already done its hard work. We can grab this clue here, and we will get +1 sanity for the remainder of the game. We go to upkeep. We draw logical reasoning, so that is good. We can heal 2 horror for ourselves, which is very nice. Gain a resource, bring us back down below that 3 horror threshold, which causes the skulls to be -3s. We did not suffer any horror this round, so to Fight the Black Wind does not trigger. And on we go to the Mythos phase. Turn 4. 3 Doom of 6. Our encounter card is going to be the King's Edict. For each cultist enemy in play, move 1 clue to that enemy's location. There are no cultists in play, so it just gains Surge. So we'll draw another encounter card. We get Whispers in Our Head Dread. We add it to our hand. We can, what happens? We can't move more than once each turn. And we have to take 2 actions to discard it. All right, well, we can't move more than once each turn now. We can get rid of it by taking 2 actions. But 3 Doom, maybe. So far we've got 2 VPs, pretty good. If we can get, maybe if we trigger, we need to grab this clue at the trap room. Then we could trigger Awakening. We could advance the act. Maybe bring out the Man in the Pallid. If we get lucky, the Man in the Pallid Mask might show up at the right location for us. In which case we could defeat him. And then maybe head back to the lobby. That's a possibility. +2 damage instead. All right. I think, yeah, maybe we'll give it a try. Okay, so investigation phase. First action, let's do the investigate at the trap room. We are currently 5v3. That's pretty good. I don't think we need to worry too much. Let's go 5v3. Chaos Bag gives us a -2. So we grab this clue. We get another resource on the Hawkeye folding camera. So our sanity is now up to 10. Now we could play logical reasoning. I think we're going to do that as our second action. So let's spend 2 resources. We will play logical reasoning to heal 2 horror. And we get a resource for that due to Carolyn's special ability. And then I think we will move to backstage. And I think we will trigger Awakening here. We will spend the 3 clues to advance the act. So we choose one of the set-aside locations at random, put that location into play, and spawn the set-aside man in the Pallid Mask enemy at that location. Then we advance to one of the 3 copies of Act 2A at random. So we have 1 backstage doorway location already in the location pile. So let's go find the other 3. So more than likely, the man in the Pallid Mask will show up at the back at the lobby, somewhere in the lobby. However, if we do get lucky, he might show up right with us, which would be very good indeed. So, okay, we've shuffled these up. Man in the Pallid Mask is at the lobby. All right, well, so he is going to be over here. Not the worst. Well, I mean, it would have been better had he showed up backstage with us, where we could have easily dealt with him and then maybe headed back to the lobby. But that's only a 1 in 4 chance, so not surprising. Now, what do we need to do? We do need to advance to one of the 3 copies of Act 2A at random. So we have the 3 Act 2As. Let's pull those out, pull that out, and shuffle up the 3. And that's the only thing we need to do, right? So what we can do is then pull out those acts again, throw everything back in the pile, delete this, and so we have a random Act 2A. So when we discard the man in the Pallid Mask, we may advance. So if this is a low shroud location, it would be very good for us. Now, one option we could consider is to go to the lobby doorway, deal with the man in the Pallid Mask once. If it's a low shroud location, there's a good chance we could investigate there, and then head back to the lobby, grab him again, go up to the balcony and deal with him there. However, all right, that was our turn. It's nice to know, though, that we did get the 2 victory point locations from the backstage, so we don't have to come back here the whole game. So that's pretty good. And we advanced, so that's fine. Nothing during the enemy phase. We draw a Working the Hunch. That's pretty good. Gets us a clue at fast speed. And to fight the Black Wind, we did not take any horror, so that is fine. And on we go to the Mythos phase. Turn 5, Foredoom of 6. Let's draw an encounter card, which is going to be a Poltergeist. A Poltergeist. It's kind of annoying. That is rather annoying at this stage. So how do we deal with this poltergeist? Now, we don't really need to kill it. We don't need to kill the poltergeist. We could try to evade said poltergeist. But that's going to take us quite a few resources to do. We could play mind over matter and throw a take the initiative to it. That would put us at 5, 6, 7, 8 V4. It's pretty good. I think that's what we're going to do. I think we're just going to evade this guy. Because killing him, there's no point to killing him. So let's do that as our first action. First action, we're going to use mind over matter to boost our, to use our intellect as agility until the end of the round. So we're going to go 5, and then we'll commit a take the initiative to go 6, 7, 8 V4. Chaos Bag says a -1, so the poltergeist is evaded. He is gone. Now we can either take a horror or lose an action to move out of backstage. But if we take a horror, we are going to advance the agenda this turn. Is that necessarily a bad thing? We can only move once per turn. That's really annoying, but man, I just don't feel like... I don't feel like trying to deal with Whispers in Your Head Dread at the moment. We do have a Spectral Razor that we could help deal with the emissary, but that's only going to do 3 damage, and I believe he has 4. And then after that, we are kind of in tough. I mean, the guard dog can deal with him. So I think we've got to spend the action to move to the theater. I don't feel like taking the horror and then to fight the Black Wind advancing the agenda on us. So that is going to be that. So a pretty quick turn. Nothing during the enemy phase. We draw Ethereal Form. So that gives us an evade if necessary. Now, to fight the Black Wind is going to speed up the agenda deck once the emissary hits the table. Man, that's going to rock it up. We shall see. This could be quite an interesting end here. All right. Yeah, so we go to turn 6. 5 of 6 Doom, and our Mythos draw is the Fanatic. Revealed location with the most clues. There is no revealed location with the most clues, so we'll just store this Fanatic up in the rehearsal room where we never have to worry about him. Okay. So we go on to the investigation phase. We have our 3 actions back. We can't move more than once per turn. So do we just go and try to deal with this? We're going to get all 3 back lobby doorways, which would give us, I believe there are 2 victory points in there. So we could get 5 at least. Between the rehearsal room, the trap room, the balcony, and the 2 lobby doorways would give us 5. I feel like we want to get rid of Whispers in Our Head now. So let's do that. And then we'll just move. Or do we just wait for the emissary to come out? Emissary comes out, we try to kill the emissary. And just kill him. Then move in, deal with the man in the pallid mask, or at least try. And then, or go to the balcony, grab that clue, then go into doorway. Do it that way. I guess the question is, do we just wait for the emissary for a turn? We've got a spectral razor, which would be +2 damage if he's non-elite. Emissary's elite, so we're only going to deal 2 damage to him. Yeah, that's kind of rough. I think we're going to move. So this may be a mistake, but we'll go to enemy phase. Okay, we drew the enchanted blade, so we do have a weapon now to deal with the emissary if necessary. So that is an option. We did not take any horror, so to fight the Black Wind does nothing. It is turn 7. 6 of 6 doom, so we are advancing. And of course, we bring out our good friend, the Royal Emissary. He shows up at the theater. And that's that. So now we have a doom threshold of 6. Now we either just let this run out and take the mental trauma and try to grab as many VPs as we can, or we've got the working the hunch, which gets us a clue at one of those high shroud locations. We've got 5 intellect, which is pretty good. So I think we can maybe go either way. So let's... we didn't draw an encounter card yet, did we? We did not. So let's see what our encounter card is before we get too carried away with planning. We get a Frozen in Fear. That's a little annoying. So that's going to cost us 2 actions. First time we move, fight, or evade, it's going to cost us 2 actions. Which is annoying. Because we had, I was going to move up to the balcony, grab the clue there. And then we could deal with the emissary next turn. So how much could we do? We could Spectral Razor, Enchanted Blade, the Emissary. The problem is the Emissary's horror, because we're going to take a horror which is going to put two doom on the agenda due to fight the Black Wind. Let's move up. It's going to cost us 2 actions. Maybe we take the horror this one. Because if once we kill the emissary, we reset, which might actually work out in our favor. Oh, I should have put a clue here on that. I should have flipped over the lobby. I rarely do that. I always forget to flip the lobby. So there is a clue there. Yeah, we don't want to be attacked. So if we play Enchanted Blade move, play Enchanted Blade for 3, move in. Yeah, unfortunately we don't have enough. We don't have enough attack to deal with that. So I think what we need to do... Oh man, I hate to do that. I hate to waste the working a hunch on such a low shroud location. So what happens here if we go... So the emissary is going to move to the lobby. We're going to take a horror, which is going to add a doom. We're going to go to 2 of 6. We go down. We attack. What if we play... We could take a couple damage and then kill the emissary. I just need to calculate how much doom we're going to be adding here. That's the problem. So emissary moves. We take a horror. We add a doom due to fight the Black Wind. We go to 6. Or we go to 2 of 6. We play the Enchanted Blade. We move to the lobby. This is assuming, of course, we break Frozen in Fear. We assign the... We take the 2 damage and assign the horror to the dog, but that doesn't kill the dog. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to risk it. Okay, so we're going to investigate here. We're going 5v2. Chaos Bag gives us a skull, which is a -1. So we grab this clue and another victory point. So we've got 3 victory points. At the end of our turn, we deal with Frozen in Fear. So we're going 4v3. Let's go 5v3. We'll commit the ethereal form. We get another skull, which is a -1. So we break Frozen in Fear. That is very necessary. We go to the enemy phase. The royal emissary moves and we take a horror. We go to, in upkeep, we draw a guard dog, and at the end of the round, there was a horror assigned to us, which was not healed, so we add a doom to the agenda, and then we go to the mythos phase. So we were at turn 8, 2 of 6 doom. Our encounter card is a Spirit's Torment again. What a pain in the butt. Okay, so we're going to yeah, this is tough. I mean, we've got the tools to kill the emissary. I think we have enough to kill the emissary. It's just all right. The Spirit's Torment adds another dimension here. So we'll get our 3 actions. We can either take a horror, which would boost us to 3, which would turn on the skulls, which is not a good idea. We play the Enchanted Blade. So if we take a horror this turn, which seems likely, we're going to go to 4 of 6 doom. Then we would absolutely need to kill the emissary next turn. We would definitely need to kill the emissary next turn. 1, 2, 3. Go 4, 5, 6 maybe. Do we just take the horror, or do we take an action to... Do we lose an action? That's a good question. It would be nice... I think we lose the dog this turn to have it bite the emissary. Yeah, I don't think we can avoid getting away with the horror, so we'll play the Enchanted Blade for 3. We will... yeah, it's just too bad we can't do 4 damage to it. We have no way of dealing 4 damage to it this turn. We're going to move and take the horror. So we're back in the lobby. So we take a horror. Whoops. And we could charge the Enchanted Blade. We would go, so we would be 2, 3, 4, 4v4. Throw the daring in there. We go up 3. That's a possibility for 2 damage. The dog hits him once. We Spectral Razor him next turn to kill it. That's the plan. All right, so we'll use our final action to attack the emissary with the enchanted blade. So we will spend a charge to empower the blade. So we get +2. So we are going 2, 4. We're going to commit the daring. 5, 6, 7 V4. Hopefully we don't get retaliated again. He already has retaliate, so it doesn't matter. So what's the Chaos Bag going to do? Gives us a -4. Oh my god. Of course. There were only 2 tokens in the bag that could have got us, and that was one of them. So we went 7v4 and failed. So we end up missing him by 1. He attacks us because of the retaliate. What a disaster. This just became bad. Just a disastrous turn here for us. -4, of course. 7v4 should have been enough. Only 2 tokens in the bag that would have hurt us. That one gets us, though. So he retaliates against us. We take a damage, and the dog takes a damage. The dog will die. He will take a damage from the dog. Unfortunately, we do not have a very good follow-up. Man, that sucks. That's just a unlucky pull that has changed the tenor of the game. So then he attacks us again. We take another 2 damage, and we take a horror at the end of the enemy phase. Yuck. Unfortunately, the Spectral Razor isn't going to do enough. It's only going to hit him for 2. Which would put us at 4v4 again. If we attack with the Enchanted Blade. Now we do draw a card due to daring. After this test ends, draw a card. So let's do that. We get another Working the Hunch. Unfortunately, that is not going to do us any good. Is it still investigation phase? We haven't moved forward. Yeah, we have not. So we went to the enemy phase. He attacked us again. We go to upkeep. We draw a shortcut. Now that is useful potentially. Yeah, I feel like we're kind of in a bad situation now. If we had been able to kill the emissary, we could have gone back to Agenda 1A. But we don't have what we need to do it. And we don't have the resources we need. We actually need to put out the other two lobby locations while I'm looking at the board state here. We need these two locations out. Well, there are 2 more victory points in those locations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unfortunately, it is the end of the phase, so we add another doom due to Fight the Black Wind. God. Come on. So we add a doom due to Fight the Black Wind. We go to the Mythos phase. It is turn... did we take a horror? We did. Yeah, we did. Okay, we're fine. We're right where we should have been. 4 of 6 doom. So we're going to lose the game next turn. Now, theoretically... if we're going to go insane, we're going to take 100 horror, which would be okay, I guess, for Carolyn. We could shortcut into one of the lobbies. He's massive, so he doesn't move with us. Move. Working a hunch. We might be able to do it. Unfortunately, we don't have any healing. We didn't draw the Hallowed Mirror, which would have helped us. Okay, 4 of 6 doom. We need to draw an encounter card. We get Twisted to His Will. Oh, this could be bad news. If there's no doom in play, it gains surge. Otherwise, test willpower X, where X is the amount of doom in play. There's 4 doom. If we fail, discard 2 cards at random. We are going 4v4. And we don't have what we need. So we're just going straight up. Okay, well, is there any chance that we can kill the emissary this turn? Simply evading the emissary is not an option because we will take a horror, and then to fight the Black Wind will advance the agenda and we will lose. If we keep shortcut, we could move into one of the lobby doorway locations, play Working a Hunch for a clue, move back, take another 2 damage to move, and try again to play Working a Hunch at another location. It's if we lose the shortcut, we're kind of hooped. Well, we're not hooped. I mean, we can play... We could still move away and take the 2 damage. And then... well, no, we can't. Because the emissary would then kill us and we'd take a physical trauma. if we kill the emissary, man, it's just too bad Spectral Razor doesn't deal 3 damage against him. So we're either going to take a physical trauma or a mental trauma. I would prefer to take a mental trauma by far. Well, let's see what happens here. We're going 4v4. I don't think we have many good options. So let's just draw a token. We get a -3, so we do fail. So we're losing 2 cards at random. We lost the Spectral Razor, and we lost a Working the Hunch. Okay. So best case right now, I think we can get... We're only going to get 4 VP, which really sucks. Ah, man, that one pull. It always seems in my games it comes down to one pull from the Chaos Bag that turns the game on its head. If we shortcut away, we could play the Guard Dog. We shortcut away, we play the Guard Dog. The Guard Dog takes the hit for us, which keeps us safe for a turn. Okay, that's what we're going to do. All right, so we are going to play Shortcut. To move to this lobby location. We flip it over. It is not the victory point location. So we move back. We play the Guard Dog for 3. So we can take a hit from the emissary. Don't know if we can get the 2 VPs. Because that's right now, that's pretty much what we're playing for. Now, if we... If we take a horror this turn... I mean, we could go in and just try to evade the emissary. In which case, we only take a horror. The Guard Dog takes the horror. Yeah, it's too bad that wasn't a victory point location. Or do we just wait for the emissary here? So if we pull the emissary into us at the box office, he hits the dog for 2 damage. The dog hits the emissary for 1. The dog takes the horror, so we don't trigger Black Wind. Next turn, we move away, taking the 2 damage. Yeah, I don't think we can get 5 VP. We can maybe get 4. 2, 3. I think we can get 4 VPs, but that's about it. But what do we do here? We could gain 5 resources, or we could draw a couple cards. Let's draw a card. There's Foolishness. It's a bit late. It's a bit late for Foolishness to show up. We've got 1 action left. We go... Do we just draw another card and try to stack our hand? Or do we gain the 5 resources? I'm just going to draw a card. I don't think the extra resources are going to help us. We get another Enchanted Blade. All right. Enemy phase. The emissary moves to us. The dog takes 2 damage. The emissary takes a damage. At the end of the enemy phase, the dog takes a horror and dies. We go to upkeep. We draw Logical Reasoning, which I don't think helps us in any way. We did not take the horror, so Fight the Black Mirror doesn't affect us. We go to upkeep. We go to Mythos. It's turn 10. We draw Frozen. Of course, we draw Frozen in Fear. Stupid. So 5 of 6 Doom. We can basically take the mental trauma this turn. We're in a position not to take a physical trauma. We can take the mental trauma. Instead, we've got enough resources to play Working a Hunch to get us another VP. Yeah, we just don't have the cards we need to kill the... Or do we? We'd be... If we... Well, maybe. Let's think about this. The emissary has 2 damage on him. I think we've got 2 plays here. We can either move away from the emissary, taking the attack of opportunity, which would put us at 5 damage. Then we move into one of the lobbies, and we just take play the Working the Hunch to grab the VP, and we're done. Then we go insane. We take a mental trauma, no big deal. Or if we want to be risky, we empower the blade. We go 4. We throw foolishness and the blade to it to put us at 4, 5, 6, 7 again. 7v4. Yeah, let's do that. Screw the VP. I know I could get another VP, but I'm going to try to kill the emissary, I think. Because if we hit the emissary, the game becomes a lot easier. If we kill the emissary, potentially we get... how many would we get? We'd get 3, 4, 5, 6, potentially 7 if we kill the emissary. So let's do it. Let's try it. We're going to take a risk. We need VPs if we're going to get these upgrades, but I'm willing to take a risk. So let's commit foolishness and the enchanted blade. We will empower our enchanted blade. So we are going 3, 4. So we're going 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 V4 for 2 damage against the emissary. Chaos Bag, it's in your hands. We get a skull. That's a -3. That is good enough. We kill the emissary. That took us 2 actions. All right. So that worked out better. That actually worked out okay. So we go... so now we reset the agenda. So we... whoops, we don't do that. So we go here. We need to find... where is my... agenda discard pile? Agenda 1A comes back into play. After a Royal Emissary is added to Victory Display, remove all Doom from play, reset agenda deck to 1A, then place 3 Doom on agenda. So we go 1, 2, 3. We move... to the lobby. And we haven't taken any horror this turn, which is good. And that's going to be our turn. So during our turn, we try to deal with Frozen in Fear. We're going 4v3. Man, I could go logical reasoning or working a hunch with my 2 resources. Or do I just stay behind and grab 5 resources? That's actually might be a better play. If we stay behind, grab the 5 resources. Nah, we're going to just go for it. We're going to go 4v3. Chaos Bag says -1. We got rid of it. Getting some luck and some bad luck in this game so far. Enemy phase, nothing happens. We go to upkeep. We draw Scene of the Crime. Oh, nice. That gets us a clue too without taking an investigate action. Okay, we go to Mythos phase. 4 of 6 Doom. It is turn 11. 4 of 6 Doom. We draw. There is the Agent of the King. Oh, for Pete's sakes. We did not need him. Of all the cards we didn't need right now, it was him. Yeah, I thought we had a chance. I thought we would have a chance. To grab those 2 VPs and finish this game off. Unfortunately, we have no way of killing this dude. We've only got one charge left on our enchanted blade, and it doesn't get us quite where we need to be. We could just try to evade him, but that doesn't really get us where we need to be either. Three, 4. See, now we're at risk of taking a physical trauma again. God dang it. If we evade him somehow, move to lobby doorway. Well, let's try to evade him. The odds are really bad. Two v2. Auto fail. Well, we only drew 1 auto fail this game so far. 2v2. -4. 2v2. Skull. Yeah, this is not. Dang. Ugh. Why did we have to draw him now? So he attacks us. Shoot. And now we get the emissary back. So we take a damage and 2 horror. Ah. I thought I'd gotten out of it. We get deny existence. Well, we can get another VP, I think. We can move over and grab lobby doorway, play deny existence to prevent the death. Dang it. That really annoys me so much. Just, ugh. So we took a horror, so did we add a damage, add horror, so this should advance. So we get our buddy back. Oh, that's just so too bad. That's really too bad. 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, that's just too bad. Annoying game this one has been. So we're on turn 12. We go draw a Mythos card. We get, we cannot play events. Oh, for Pete's sakes. Oh, this game hates me today. This game absolutely hates me. Okay, so what do we do? Oh man, never have I had to work so hard for a VP. Okay, so we're gonna discard Whispers in Our Head. We're gonna take an action to get rid of that. Oh, that's 2 actions, right? 2 actions to get rid of that. We're gonna take an attack of opportunity from our dude. So we take a damage and 2 horror. Yeah, we can't do it. We can't do it. Well, that is supremely disappointing. We would have been able to... I guess our only option now is to move. We prevent the damage, but we take 2 horror and die. Yeah, that's all we can do. Oh, that's too bad. So we will move to this lobby doorway. Unfortunately, those are the 2 with the victory points. Yep. Oh, shoot. We deny the damage, but take the horror, and that kills us because we had 10 sanity. Oh, I'm sorry, Mitchell. I am sorry. I did my best here, but unfortunately, the between that one pull from the encounter from the chaos bag, and then pulling the agent of the king right then, just put us in a position where we did not have what we needed to get those 2 final VPs. So we end up taking a mental trauma, and we earn 3 VPs, which is not great. I consider this to be a disappointment because I could have had... If we hadn't drawn the agent then, we move into the... What would it have been? It would have been the lighting box. We play Working a Hunch to grab a clue there. Then we move back to the lobby. Then we go to the green room. Theoretically, we get a clue there. We get the 5 VPs. Or we deal with the Man in the Pallid Mask here. We manage to investigate and then investigate, and we get VPs. But instead, we draw the agent at the wrong time and just end up dying. Not enough combat. And even if we'd fought him, we could have fought him, but we would have drawn the auto fail -4, -3, which wouldn't have been enough to kill him. Ouch. That's a rough one. So ultimately, I don't think our tarot card matters in the end. We did not survive this, so the world had no effect. And we take another mental trauma and we gain 3 VPs, which is kind of disappointing considering we could have had 5 at least. Unfortunately, we got a little unlucky with the Chaos Bag, pulling that -4 during that attack against the Emissary, which would have given us a little bit of flexibility. And then when we needed to draw pretty much any card other than the Agent of the King, or even Whispers in Your Head would have been preferable. We drew the Agent of the King and we just didn't have enough combat to deal with him. So we will end this game by taking a mental trauma. We have 3 VPs, so that'll hopefully we'll be able to spend some VPs and get some cards for this deck. And we will try again in The Last King. That has been your game of the day. I hope that you enjoyed it. I will be back soon with another game of the day. We've got a bunch of campaigns on the go, and I have a bunch of decks that people want me to play, so we will be getting on those. Until next time, I hope that you are having a fantastic day, and take care out there. That's going to do it for this episode. If you enjoyed what you hear, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you need to contact me, I can be reached at manfromlang@gmail.com. I'm also on Twitter at manfromlang. Until the stars are right, keep your shotgun close and your elder sign closer. Take care out there, and happy investigating.